right, so yeah, afterthoughts. We're gonna start driving home, and we're gonna talk about this thing, cause holy crap, there was a crap ton. I mean, the show ended pretty heavy. There was like a 5-minute just mauling. Tonight was not a good night to be part of the MPX staff, but we'll get to that, and we'll also try to show some video of that,
or
that portion.
Rather.
No, I got video of the aftermath after the bell, so it's not part of the match. But like he did mention, we took photos, so yeah, you can kind of see what's going on a little bit. At least get a name to a face, and when we mention competitors and such, and he takes notes. So yeah, car conversations, afterthoughts tonight. So let's do it.
Tonight we had MPX Consequences, and our first match of the night was Dave Sagan with Byron Anthos versus Sabretooth.
Yep, and this is the young man right here, Sabretooth, hails from the Arctic. And yeah, very game Sabretooth taking on newly blonde Dave Sagan. And there's Brian Anthos there in his corner.
Byron.
I always mess that up. Either way, so it went back and forth. Dave Sagan took a lot of the offense in this match. Well, he gave a lot of the offense in this match. Sabretooth, he's game. He come in some good spots, and it looked like he was going to get it a couple times. But you can probably tell by the tone of the voice, and it's not the way it ended. They went back and forth, a couple of near pins. In the end, it was the hailstorm.
Well, actually, no, that's not it. That was his comeback.
Yeah, that was part of his comeback. I hadn't got that far because I'm turning, dude.
I know. But, yeah. Eventually, he got to the hailstorm,
Yep.
and...
The 1, 2, 3?
No. The hailstorm picked up his head and hit him with a second hailstorm.
I got a picture of that. The douche maneuver where you get the two and then you pick them up. It's like, no, I'm not done punishing him yet. But Sabretooth mounted a comeback off that, and it ended up the same way. He ended up getting caught with another hailstorm, and that was the 3. So, yeah, very game Sabretooth, but he come up short against Sagan. Sagan's on a roll. Don't forget, he's got a title match next week.
And not to mention that here, there was an after beatdown with Anthos, as you can clearly see.
Oh, yeah.
Basically choking out Sabretooth.
Oh, yeah, this little pretzel maneuver he's got going on. Nasty.
And Sagan was holding back Bambi.
Yep, and this is going to be a running theme for the night. So, yeah, that's that match. Sagan, Sabretooth.
Okay, so the
Sagan.
second match that we had right after Stephen Kirby and took his promo about who he's facing at Destiny, we got the Pub Crawlers versus Menage a Trois, Loverboy Larry, and CJ Ward.
Oh, and by the way, Kirby was trying to arrange a match against Jackson Stone for Destiny. Backstory there is Jackson Stone is a product of the MPX training facility, and Kirby is, I believe, one of the trainers, if not one of the main trainers there. So
he said he was the main one who trained Jackson.
Yeah, so he said he's wanting to step in the ring, one of his best students. And yeah, I see nothing wrong with that. I think it could be a pretty entertaining match. But of course, Menage a Trois come out, spoil the moment. And Kirby had the Pub Crawlers as backup. So
the match started out really good because the Pub Crawlers, as you can see here, just started beating the crap out of Menage a Trois.
Yeah, they started off pretty hot. They threw Larry out. They jumped on CJ, and it was just it was a beatdown until
oh, hang on.
They had Johnny O'Malley with a chop block to the knee, kind of winged him, and yeah, they had their way with him for probably about a solid 5 minutes, just tagging in and out, working his knee. CJ's a very technical submission style wrestler, and he was twisting O'Malley up pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, there he is trying to get him in another crab.
And then eventually O'Malley got the tag to 0, and he started wailing on both of them.
Yeah, he came in, cleaned house, never lost that momentum.
And then in the end,
They ended up winning.
yep, it was with the help of O'Malley and doing like a single leg code breaker, and
Yeah, it was a tag team
and then a
maneuver.
lariat. So, yeah, that match was really decent.
Yep, they
And
ended
then,
up picking up the dub, and booze was passed around. So yeah, I mean, pub crawlers, Mr. Mayhem, yeah, not a stretch.
And-
It's not a stretch.
After that, we had Baby D versus Queen Uju.
Yeah, Uju.
So this match was kind of the weird ones because we've never seen Uju before.
Ah, but she, she's pretty entertaining. She's in there talking trash, striking poses, taunting.
That was my only problem. She would taunt after every move, and she did.
Because she wasn't worried about Baby D.
Whatever.
Well, she basically said that she ain't worried about Baby D.
Yeah.
But it was an entertaining match. Baby D come out, did her thing, and Uju showed us what she's got, and a lot of kicks, a lot of just ground and pound, and yeah, it was a pretty good match. Nice showing for Uju.
And Baby D was slamming her around everywhere.
Right. Yeah, Baby D got power. She manhandle a chick.
She-
And of course,
Got her stink face out.
yeah, that's her signature move there.
And then
Yeah, Uju got a near pin. She busted out a nasty looking backstabber. This was the result, but too close to the ropes. A little
and
veteran
then
instinct.
it just ended with Uju running towards Baby D and a power bomb, and as you can see there,
Yeah, she got stacked up hard.
and Baby D got the 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
After
Decent match. Decent
that,
match.
we had the MPX Addicts Championship match between Tatum Manning and Chandler Hopkins.
Yeah, see, it's kind of what we talked about. If the rest of Menage a Trois was going to be a factor at all, then this was most likely going to go Tatum's way. And yeah, he's not out there by himself. Chandler Hopkins there, Tatum Manning. Menage a Trois, they're not in the photo right now, but yeah, they're there. They're there. And they were a very big factor. Of course, Chandler's so athletic, doing his little flip-de-doo spots and stuff, and, getting out of basic arm locks. Of course, Tatum's in a headlock. Yeah, that's where he belongs. But anyway, see, this is the turning point of the match.
So Manning basically chop blocked the injured knee of Chandler Hopkins, and he has been having problems with that knee since his tag team partner betrayed him, over a year ago?
Has it been a recurring thing? Because he tweaked it on he flipped over Tatum. They were doing something, and he meant to stick the landing, and he kind of tweaked his knee when he did it.
Because he's had constant troubles with it.
I don't know. You would think if you're fighting with something for a year, you've got it fixed by now. Especially since he ain't broken his foot last year.
The muscle isn't gonna be the same if you keep on hurting it and hurting it and hurting it, and pretty soon it's just gonna wear.
Well, if you get it fixed, then you don't have to deal with that problem. Either way, anatomy aside, this is CJ basically banging his knee into the turnbuckle post there, and then Larry comes in with a stiff-looking kick and just kicks him right into it too. So this thing right here, Chandler hobbled the rest of the match after this point right here. And this was the turning point in the match for Chandler. Single leg crab is what Tatum kept going back to. He must have utilized it maybe 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, 4.
To slow Chandler down, because Chandler he'd mount an offense. One-legged is still dangerous. And whenever he'd get him on the ground and slow him down a little bit, he'd grab that leg and single leg again, try to wear that leg down. And it was a smart strategy. Because it really limited. Chandler comes at you all directions with different kicks and stuff, So that was a smart strategy to keep on that leg. You see a lot of people, they'll wing somebody and then they'll go into their normal game plan instead of adjusting and going after the weak spot. So hats off to Tatum for keying in on this. But the rest of the Menage a Trois, they get popped. You You see a chair in CJ's hands there. The ref seen him about to wind up and tee off on Chandler. He ended up saying he's going to kick him out, and then Tatum said, no, you're not kicking him out. And he asked him, hey, guys, I need you to go. I can do it. I can do it by myself. And yeah, he asked them to go, and they did. But my thing is, damage done, dude. You know, they worked on the leg and winged him and beat the crap out of him, you know, while the ref's back was turned and right up until they got caught. And then you're going to send him away. Yeah, half respect, maybe, you know? You know, and that's him some more telling them, go on, I got it. And of course, you see Chandler still mounting offense. This was a suplex. And he was winding up for that Falcon Arrow, but the knee gave out on him again.
No, it did not. Tatum suplexed him into the turnbuckle.
Because he couldn't pick him up, so he was able to reverse it. He went to plant to pick him up and do it. He couldn't. Tatum instantly took advantage and flipped him into the turnbuckle. And again, going for that crab. And he gets it. He must have utilized this move 4 or 5 times. Went for a couple pin attempts. Now, here's where Chandler got caught. He went for his 450 off the top.
Shooting star.
Is it a shooting star? I thought it was 450.
450 is what Silver does.
Right. It's the spinny do. Okay,
yes.
This one's the back flippy do. No, it's the forward flippy do.
No, shooting star is a backflip.
Okay. Well, either way, he does the flippity doobity do whatever. And Tatum got the knees up. And after that, led right up to a roll up. So, hey, Hopkins, honorable guy, offered to shake his hands. They ended up shaking hands too, you know. So, hats off to him. Rest Menage a Trois come out, celebrated. And the next match.
We had we had intermission, and then that's when a name was drawn because they were going to have Jamie Aller handcuffed to one of the MPX addicts.
Yeah.
And yeah, that happened during intermission. And after intermission, of course, we had the tag team championships, larger than life, versus who you see on your screen right now, the Berserkers, Dmitry Alexandrov, the one down on one knee, and Tyler Jett, the one up on the turnbuckle.
Okay, so we don't have very many photos of this match in between the security guard and just the action being pretty hectic. I couldn't get very many photos that weren't like all blurred out from them moving, you know, an action shot or whatever. They were just so blurry. It was just a crap photo. So I had to delete the majority of the photos I took for this one just because I didn't like the quality of them. They kind of sucked. So, yeah, I mean, it was a pretty good match, hard hitting. It didn't go as long as I thought it would. You know, they ended up finishing the match pretty quickly. Threw a lot of blows, you know.
And it was just overall really hard hitting match, and just, you know, Brian doing his thing of the wrestling takedowns, Dmitry and Jet doing their elbows, knees, kicks.
Yeah, they're like a striking team, whereas they're heavy on the striking.
To where
Larger Than Life is more balanced, where you got Becker who uses his speed to like hit you with legs and arms and stuff, but it's more speed based instead of just I'm gonna cave your skull in with this elbow here, which is, you know, the Berserkers are pretty one-dimensional and it works for them. You know, they come at you with raw power and it's just like, you know, sawed-off shotgun. You know, they're standing in front of you, you're gonna knock them down every time. But you know, this is Larger Than Life's a little more balanced. You know, Remington deals in a lot of power. He's very technical in his wrestling. He uses a lot of joint locks, submission locks to slow the pace down. Lets Becker in, and Becker picks the pace back up again, and he's able to use some little hold moves and stuff like that. He does little flip-de-doos himself, so they're pretty well balanced. And at this point right here, we're seeing the Berserkers. They got this maneuver where they'll
it's called the critical hit.
Yeah. Well, Dmitry holds one of them, and Jet comes in with a running knee, and then they end up slamming him down with the momentum from the...
You are not very detailed.
It's more than you, dude.
No. Okay, so Dimitri picks one person up in a power slam position, and then Jet comes in with a running shotgun knee strike. It slams him down.
I added adjectives. Look at me. Either way, they nailed Remington with it, and then they nailed Becker with it, and it took a little too much time. And yeah, that allowed Larger Than Life to just come ahead on this one here. This is one of the maneuvers here.
That was against Remington, I think.
Yeah,
that's Remington.
that was when they nailed that critical hit against him. But they ended up...
That's the sunglass kiss to Dimitri.
Yep. Yeah, that's his future shock DDT caused a sunglass kiss. Yeah, nailed Dimitri with that thing.
And then they went for the whole side slam, top rope stomp combination.
Yeah, they got Tyler Jet with that, and that was it for Jet. After the sunglass kiss, Dimitri was rolled out of the ring, and they took advantage of Jet being isolated. Still champs.
Okay.
Larger Than Life.
Then after this match has to be the biggest match, I would say, of the decade. And the decade hasn't even started.
It just started.
Well, still.
It just started.
It barely just started.
It literally just started like 2 months ago.
Well, whatever.
Either way, this was probably... We've seen some pros come through, and they got some pretty good pops. Like, Swaggle was just there, and the place blew up. A local guy, I think he come up through their training system. He goes by Mr. Legs. Come out as soon as his music hit this place, the roof comes off of the event center. It's nuts.
Like literally half of the crowd was standing on its feet for the entire match.
Yeah, they were popping for every stinking thing. And in case you want to know what Mr. Legs looked like,
nope.
Okay, sorry. Boom. You got a little close to us. Yes, that's a bandolier full of legs, and they're even tightly packed on the back side of that thing. You know, yeah. What really can I say that the picture's speaking for me here at this point?
And he's named both of his legs.
Yes, his
right
legs,
leg Randy and left leg Lenny.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Left. Yes, Lenny left leg, Randy right leg. And yeah, that's his whole shtick. He's got the legs, and wouldn't you know it, his offense is strictly leg based. Kicks, shotgun kicks, look like he does some kicks.
Single leg drop kicks.
Right,
regular
like
drop kicks.
Claymore style kicks. You name it, he's got it. And it's just it was absolutely. I mean, the crowd. I got pictures of the crowd too. It just we're not.
They're at the end.
Yeah, we're not blowing smoke here. They were nuts for homeboy. And while he was waiting for his opponent to come out, dude was doing squats. No joke. He was doing squats in the middle of the ring.
He definitely doesn't skip leg day.
Homeboy does not skip leg day. No, confirmed. And his first opponent was Sky Della Promotion. So I immediately thought, well, it's nice knowing you, Mr. Legs, you know. At least you got some legs out of the whole deal. But no, you know, hats off to Mr. Legs for living the gimmick and being all about the leg and the leg offense and never skipping leg day. Hats off to you, homie. So, yeah, they sat there and, you know, Macer, you know, talked down to him. Basically, he called him a joke, told him just leave.
And then he said, "What do you expect to do?" And then Cody brought the mic over to him. He's like, "What I'm going to do is let Randy and Lenny, use Randy and Lenny and kick your bleep."
Yeah. He's going to kick Sky's butt.
But you could barely hear it because of how loud the crowd was cheering.
They were really, really loud. Our ears are ringing during this match just because of how loud they were. There's Mr. Legs has quite a few female fans. In case you didn't know, you'll see that in the photos later. And yeah, they were loving on him. And so the match was pretty good. Sky come out swinging. Mr. Legs come out kicking. And yeah, Sky it was looking like it was going to be a wash at first because Sky just come out kicking. I mean, not kicking, other way around, punching. And just, taking it to him. And yeah.
Mr. Legs got his single leg drop kick or Claymore.
Right.
But he got that a couple times. He got
actually an arm drag, which, shocker. Like
it was
Cena's
a
sixth
top
move of doom.
rope, arm drag. That
Right,
was cool.
yeah. Actually, yes. That's my bad. He grabbed the arm, bounced from the middle rope, bounced to the opposite top rope, and then did the arm drag. So that was, and Mr. Legs ain't a small dude. He's a very tall dude. And he hit them ropes pretty quick and didn't miss a beat. So, yeah, whether he sticks with the whole leg sting or whatever, he's got some ability. So, future's bright on this guy here.
And that was after the arm drag. He threw Formosa
he
across
whipped
the
him
ring.
over. Big guys got a lot of momentum, and they're both big dudes. So yeah, you get Cremosa moving, he gonna go. And Cremosa rolled to the outside. So what's
After
our boy
a
do?
Hurricane Rana.
Yeah, after a Hurricane Rana, like basically a standing Hurricane Rana. So Cremosa goes out, and for every time the ref counts, Mr. Legs does lunges. Yes, lunges. I hate lunges. I hate lunges. I don't like doing lunges.
But the way he did it, he was having fun.
Right, and then of course Sky gets in before the 10 count.
And he still does lunges.
Mr. Legs is like, no, I'm finishing the set. He stops at 8. The ref stops at 8. Mr. Legs is like, nah, dog. 9, 10, finishes the lunge set. That's commitment, dude. That's living the gimmick right there. And of course he's kicking. He's kicking Cremosa down to the corner.
He's stomping a mud hole into him.
Yes, he is. He's stomping him, and I believe that is Randy making an appearance. So, yeah. And the body scissors. The body scissors was awesome. When he first slapped it on him, Sky was screaming like an infant who just got pinched, and it was hilarious. But, oh man, it worked.
And the actual funny thing about it was that Sky actually started at a fade.
Right. Yeah, the ref had to do the whole check the arm thing, and yeah, it was awesome. And like everything he was doing, this crowd was just eating it up. It made it really easy to cheer for homie.
And of course, after the body scissors, Sky Dale Cremosa got his, speed back, and he just started wailing on him.
Yeah, this is his diving clothesline right here. He caught Mr. Legs. It was looking pretty dark for him, and of course,
another single leg drop kick.
Yes, shotgun kick, and it was just, okay, if you got a gimmick that works, work that dang thing. Oh man. And
just as he was about to hit Death by Stereo, whose music hits?
Jason Silvers. That would be Mr. Immortal himself. And yeah.
But he didn't even show up. It was a distraction.
Yeah, Sky was ready to beat down on Silver, and he kind of threw Mr. Legs to the side.
And guess what happened?
There he is. He's gonna recover.
And he got a body scissors.
A body scissors roll up.
And he got the 1, 2, 3, and it was over.
And if you thought they were loud for the entrance, no. They were even more loud when he won.
Bless you.
Thank you.
So I'm pretty sure after this are the pictures of the signs.
Probably.
Oh no.
Yep. There's the actual roll up right there. So yeah, he gets the 1, 2, 3 with that.
And that's still the roll up. And then after the fact, he's starting to celebrate.
Look at the crowd. Look at that crowd, and they had signs.
And that was just like the row that was directly to the left.
Yeah, that's the one that's in front of the.
That's not even the crowd that was behind us.
Yeah, that's these guys. Which that sign there, genius. If you get between Randy and Lenny, you are nuts. Come on, that's hilarious. And this was the wall of people, and folks, those are Mr. Legs shirts. The dude's in his debut singles match, and he's got shirts already. He's got merch.
And then that's the other side. Well, no, that's kind of still the same
side.
That's
further to the right. Yeah.
This is to the left.
Man, myth, legend, Team Randy. Never skip leg day. Ooh, confirmed. Never skip leg day.
This match was just a handful.
Yeah, it was something. I was thinking, okay, guy's getting a debut match, and he's after the intermission, right before the main event. Come on, new guy, really? Oh, geez, these people. Yeah, that spot was well deserved. I mean, all of these people were obviously here to see Mr. Legs. So if the man's selling tickets, you got to give him his due. You know, new or not. Hey, hats off to Mr. Leg. Congratulations on your first win, homie.
All right.
But of course, you know, you're taking on Sky Dela Cremosa and you just beat him. So of course there's an after match beatdown, and ironically with one of the legs. So
I'm pretty sure that's Lenny.
it could be mannequin legs. So I don't know. Maybe they're ambidextrous.
Yeah, he just started wailing on him with that leg.
Yeah,
destroying his legs. One of the
Yeah.
guys back there, one of the guys behind us was like, "No, you monster!
Yeah.
Who would ever do this to a person?"
Yeah, he's screaming at him, "You have no soul. You have no soul." Yeah, that guy was butthurt. Just more beatdown. More beatdown. Oh, and of course, you know,
He had a death by stereo.
yeah, which is that butterfly, you know.
Spin slam.
Yeah.
So,
So that was the debut of Mr. Legs. Congratulations on your win, dude. I hope you feel better after that
death by stereo.
temper tantrum by Sky Dela Cremosa there. So,
And then, I'm pretty sure after this, we got the main event, which was really hectic.
yeah, this thing was nuts.
This
And-
was a non-title
I quit
match.
right, and yeah, it got pretty dark pretty dang quick. So yeah, we're just gonna get started. Of course, you know, he was accompanied by Sagan down to the ring, but yeah, the ref basically kicked him out. You know, we're seeing Wesley here make his
It
entrance.
took both Anthony and Bambi to get him out of the ring.
Yeah, this is Wesley's entrance here. If you never seen it, you know, he's got this whole methodical thing that, you know, it's a big head game. You know, he gets in his opponent's head before the bell even rings, before the match even starts. He's already in their head. And he's got this whole thing, and of course, he starts off with a straight kick to James Johnson face, runs to the corner, and does his reverse senton into James Johnson's face there. And really quickly snaps into a hell stomp. And I didn't get a good photo of the hell stomp, but yeah,
That's because you kind of got the aftermath of it.
yeah, it's kind of hard when you're switching from used to taking video and then trying to capture the moment, and you know, it's a process. It's a process.
But yeah, right off the bat, it was a hex stomp to the head, and it was, oh.
If you've never seen a Wesley Crane match, he listens to the audience. It's just good and bad. Somebody had shouted, "Use the legs!" And he looked and he was like, "Oh, there's legs right here." And he puts them on his arms and he starts beating the tar out of James Johnson with the legs.
Oh,
And
that's what that picture
Yeah,
is.
they're made out of like some kind of thick plastic, so it sounded like
Thunk, thunk,
like the
thunk.
tubes you get that wrap around the Christmas paper.
Either that, or if you've
Only
ever played with,
more of a plastic tinny sound, like a dong dong.
or one of those, what are they called? They're, one of the, like that orange bat that we used to have in Michigan.
Oh, wiffle bat. Wiffle ball
Yes.
bat. There you go.
Wiffle
Yeah, that's
ball
even
bat.
more accurate description.
That's what it sounded like.
Yeah, and he was just nailing Johnson with these things here, and it was comical. And then, you know, of course, he starts walking around like a 4-footed monster, and you know, it's kind of accurate, I guess. Yeah, more beatdown. More beatdown.
The beatdown was
And of
real.
course, you notice the pile of chairs there. Yes, that pile will grow a lot.
in the next, like, 5 minutes.
Yeah. It was a pretty long main event, so you know, hats off to these guys for doing what they did, and you know,
Sticking with it for so long.
yeah, it was kind of rough. You know, there was not really much effort to get the other person to quit. Of course, this is an I quit match, you know, so there wasn't much effort from either guy, and obviously they're here to both hurt each other. You know, that was the main goal. And yeah, it's more chaos. That is a big giant wood mallet. Makes an appearance now and then, and made an appearance tonight. And dude, because they break and they're junk. Chairs, they can take a few hits, and we've probably seen these chairs half a dozen times.
Yep.
Now, they still got some life to them. But either way, you know, we see Wesley here about the suplex Johnson into it.
Well, actually, he was going for an Alabama Slammer. He suplexed him and then was going for the Slammer.
Right, Alabama Slam, of course.
That bit right there, that part of it was just awesome.
Right.
And then after that whole thing, Johnson picked up a chair and just slammed it into Wesley's arm.
Yeah, he started targeting the arm right at this point here. That's Crane, yanking the arm out because he had it wrapped up in one of the other chairs. And this would be Johnson's focus for the entirety of the match at this point. He was going after Wesley's arm. And here we see him doing some work again. It was looking bad for Johnson because Wesley got the drop on him. He just took some offense for like a solid 3 or 4 minutes, just getting beat on. And again, targeting the arm. Targeting the arm. And he threw Wesley into the post after they spilled to the outside.
I'm just watching the live chat, sorry.
Okay. No problem. So yeah, Johnson brings in some stuff, some duct tape, staple gun, and yeah, it's pretty obvious. They were both like, we don't want the other person to quit. We just want to hurt you. You're not going to quit until I say you can quit. And that was pretty much the pre-match promos that these guys were cutting on each other. They both had the same intention. I'm just going to hurt you. That's all they were focusing on. Mainly Johnson's thing is he's going to soften up Crane because Sagan has Crane next week at MPX Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was the ultimate goal, just to soften up Crane. I don't think Johnson's thing was ever actually his goal was ever actually to win the match. I really don't. So this led to a really, really nasty looking spot. I don't believe I got a photo of it, but Wesley does this running Death Valley driver into the corner. Now this corner had chairs placed in between the ropes,
and then one at the bottom.
Yeah, and then one at the bottom, and it looked really, really nasty. Yeah, it was a scary looking bump for Johnson to take, but he was able to. You can see the aftermath there of some of the chairs still left behind, and he was going to do another Death Valley driver here on the apron. Ended up getting reversed on him. Johnson drives him into the ring apron, which is the hardest part of the ring, by the way, in case you didn't know that. And then this happens.
And
I don't know what the heck Bambi was thinking. Seriously, dude. What were you thinking, Bambi? I mean, would you give Johnson the weapon? No. But Wesley said, "Where's the tape?" And you went and get the tape and handed to him. What you want the tape for? Maybe you should have said, "I don't know. Get your own tape, dude. I'm the ref. I'm not supposed to assist you in the maiming of another human being."
yeah,
But he hands it to him, and of course Johnson ends up taped to the turnbuckle. And then he ends up wrapping tape around his mouth so he can't say he quits. Which, okay, if you're going to prolong it and try to beat somebody down, okay, I guess you tape up the mouth, I would do it too, honestly. So, yeah, this is coming up to the finish of the match, because once you're taped up like that,